bet he gave a statement because he doesn't have an attorney. His current attorney is just representing him for extradition. Didn't ask him about the case. All they have to show for extradition is that he's the guy on the warrant and he was in the area at the time. His attorneys told him that they probably used geofencing to show that he's in the area at the time of the crime. That, coupled with a court order for them to stop cleaning the house. Getting someone to waive their Miranda rights is an art. The FBI interrogators are some of the best in the world. They teach interrogation. As an interrogator, you can talk to your suspect as long as you want, as long as you're not questioning them about the crime. There will be word selection and body cues that you can read on your suspect to show that you're building rapport. And that's when you get them to waive their Miranda rights. How did he get caught? When they increased the number of FBI agents, I figured they got a hit on the DNA. News outlets have reported they use genealogy. I take that to mean somewhere in a database, a relative of his submitted a sample for DNA. A major news outlet said a law enforcement source told them they use geofencing. That's when his phone pings back to the same location as the victims, and that he was following them around. They had information on the vehicle, and it's going to have a ton of evidence in it, and that's why it was confiscated. I talk about the use of genealogy with the Golden State Killer on my podcast. You can find it on YouTube under Pure Power 34. Do I think his parents knew? Probably not. The attorney said his dad flew out there and drove him back. If they knew that he was a heroin addict, he could have just called and said he fell off the wagon. If his folks did know, could they be arrested for harboring? Parents and spouses are exempt in my state. The FBI followed him for 4 days. That's how long it took them to get their ducks in a row enough for an arrest warrant. You get one shot. With this high-profile case, you've got to get it right. The Moscow police chief was recently interviewed and said that he stood by his statement that this was a directed attack, and that he's confident they have their guy. My theory is that he was stalking Kaylee. One of the bar owners in the area that knew the suspect said he was a weirdo, and that he had to tell him to leave some women alone. So much so that when he scans his license at the bar, there's a note saying he could be a problem. Criminology is more about criminal behavior, not about police work. I don't think he was smart enough to lawyer up. I think he was caught by surprise. And getting interrogated at 4 a.m., you probably don't have all your wits about you. Me just sitting there thinking of all the evidence they have to have, I'm betting the death penalty is still on the table. Because a big-name lawyer has not stepped up saying that he's representing this guy. And someone would love the free press if they thought they could win. Once again, I could be wrong.